back. You are watching First World TV. I'm Pat Crumley today, interviewing Professor Mahmoud El-Kati with regard to the most recent publication, the Hiptionary. And before our break, we were just speaking about the joy, the energy, the sharing, or at least the pervasiveness of hipness in terms of speech as well as gestures.
Yeah,
just the whole energy
it's the culture.
Around that.
The culture is, the black culture is very seductive, if you will, to people, and it's charismatic, and charisma is a sort of charm. Charisma is like you can not like somebody and still be drawn to them. That's kind of the dynamic that black people exist in. They are and they are not. They're well liked, but they're not liked. The culture is embraced by, but not the people, because you get into politics when you come to people, but people kind of take it off of the top and do something else with it. Now let me say this lastly, and I've already acknowledged unapologetically that I'm kind of a praise singer and a great appreciation of what history has produced. History produced this. It didn't come out of the sky, you know. There wasn't always an African American on the planet. Nobody walking around calling himself. This is a 14-generation product of history. That's how long we've been here. And this is the result of it. And I think one of the people who captured what I'm trying to say, said it a long time ago, a great professor of philosophy at Howard University for years, who was also the first African American to win the prestigious Rhodes Scholarship. And I won't get into that, in 1912, but he taught at Howard. He's a legend. And he made this statement, and I've never forgotten it. I recorded it years ago. He said, "This of black people's presence in the United States of America." And this is who the book is dedicated to. And it's dedicated to all of those nameless, faceless, and counter-group poetic voices, past and present, who created this wonderful vernacular, like a people's true living language. We don't know the names of the people who created it. And to the memory of the philosopher and Rhodes Scholar, Alain Locke, who commented years ago, end quote, that it almost passes human understanding how a people can be so despised and yet artistically esteemed, so ostracized and yet culturally influential, so degraded and yet a dominant editorial force in American life.
And I think that is so powerful, and it says it all. And you know what's so remarkable about that, that is also a quote that a local group, a McAllister Seeds that you've sown on Sounds of Blackness on one of the CDs. That is one of the songs, one of the leads into a song. And they use that quote, and it's so interesting that in terms of this book and all the others that you've written, because there's others besides this one, that your legacy and your love of the language, your love of the people will, continue to inform us. One of the things, you quoted someone that influenced you, and I have to quote something about your book that influenced me as we wrap this up. And this is in your afterword. And I would like our audience to really just feel me in terms of what I'm getting ready to read from Professor Mahmoud's book, The Hiptionary. And you state as follows: everything that's true is derivative. Everything that is not is false. The present will always be informed by the past, because the past never really leaves us. History produces everything. Whether we know it or not, history is not simply something that's written in a book. History is not merely or even principally about the past. It is about the present and all that we do. It is something that we carry with us. In this regard, and I'm jumping a line or two, as we alluded to earlier, a people's language must be viewed in the context of the lived experience of a people. And that phrase, that language must be viewed in the context of the lived experience of a people, just causes me to really say to you that this work, this sacrifice that you've made to put together the Hiptionary, because it's not just definitions. It is all actually a very scholarly work. And so for people who would read it, they'll get more than just simply definitions of words. And so I just want to thank you for your love of the language, the love of the people, the love of the culture, and the sacrifices that you've made it to produce and to come out to share with this community the Hiptionary. So I thank you.
I thank you. Very well.
Thank you. And audience, we invite your comments, and we look forward to hearing from you and to seeing you again. I'm Pat Crumley. This is First World TV. Thank you.
Your head to the sky.